Software, located in Michigan and was founded in 1985. RC Systems has been offering products and services to the recreation market since 1995. RC Systems prides itself on intuitive, reliable, and proven solutions along with friendly, knowledgeable, and patient customer support. The company strives to build strong relationships with customers and continually improve the product and services to meet the changing needs of those customers. ReCPro software is a standardized, off-the-shelf, client-server recreation management solution designed with latest Microsoft .NET technology and backed by a powerful and reliable Microsoft SQL Server database management system. Today's presenter is Dale Geiger, the Vice President of RC Systems. Dale is part of the ownership group and has been with the company since 1993. Dale's education and background as a system designer and developer, along with his ability to communicate with customers, gives him a unique set of skills. Over the last 19 years, Dale has carefully listened to customers' needs, which has helped mold the ReCPro software product since inception in 1995. Please welcome Dale.
Thank you. Just want to start following up on some of those items. ReCPro is a client-server application. For all of you that currently use Class, from an infrastructure standpoint, it's going to be very similar. It's got a SQL backend from an IT perspective, very powerful, very robust. We use the latest Microsoft technology to develop our applications. And as you can see on the handout that I gave you, it comes with the list of features as far as customer management, okay, activity registration, facility reservation and rentals, memberships. If you have any fitness center or swimming pool, you can sell memberships, league scheduling. There's an inventory component with point of sale. Also, locker rentals. If you have any lockers that you rent out, you can do that as well. We do have a child care or day camp registration module if you have any before and after school child care or summer day camps. Also, obviously, the online shopping component that brings a lot of those things to your patrons online, okay? In addition to that, we also have many different financial, statistical, and demographic reports that are in the system. What I'd like to do is just kind of highlight each module a little bit, just talk a little bit about each one, some of the highlights of it. This PowerPoint presentation that is running here, if you stop by the booth and meet me and I get your name and email, I'll email you this PowerPoint so you can go through it yourself. It's just a lot of screenshots, a lot of sample reports that we have, but what I would like to do is talk a little bit about each module that I'll bring up here. These are the different menu choices that ReCPro has. Obviously, like I mentioned with the customer management, we have a customer profile here. With the customer accounts, we do store people in here as families. Okay, so all family members are on the same account. We will have a head of household that is identified. The family will share the same address, and then all the family members that are on the account will be down here. Okay. Pretty standard, I'm sure very similar to what you guys are using now from the customer management standpoint. We keep a good history of all your customers. If they ever want to come back in and see what programs they've signed up for, what facilities they've rented, all of that information is easily accessible by staff, but it's also easily accessible online where they can log in and see their account and see which activities they've signed their kids up for in the past. Also, a complete payment history. If they want any printouts of their previous receipts, they can get those, along with any end-of-year tax statements if they need those for child care purposes. Okay? With the activity registration module, that's all of the setup for activities, whether it be an enrichment class, a recreation class, a sports league, whatever it may be, all of the setup is going to happen under this screen here, okay? Pretty standard with the ability to put in your season and year, your enrollment counts, any specific rules that you have for age, grade, or gender. We also have an instructor area where you can identify the instructor. Some of the other tabs that are on here, obviously you can set up your fees, okay? You're going to be able to set up your schedule. Also, the registration options are your custom questions, okay? One of the great things about setting up your activities in here is setting up the schedule, okay? And when you set up that schedule, you're going to be able to see all the dates that apply to this particular class. And we do give you the ability to immediately book this to your facility calendar. So again, everything is integrated. So the facility reservation piece comes into play when you're setting up all your activities, as well as all your public rentals. Okay, so this is again the setup screen for all your activities, all your leagues, events, whatever it is that you're having people register for. This is the screen that you would set up. Okay. As I mentioned before, there's also an area here for custom questions. With the custom questions, you guys can have tiered questions where if they answer yes to a particular question, it can have a follow-up. It can also have a fee assessed if you want, where you can charge an additional fee based on the answer that they give you. Okay? A couple of other features that are in the activity registration area. We have a revenue and expense area where you can track all your revenue and expenses so we can give you a profit and loss. And there's also a waiting list, which is pretty standard with any registration software. Okay? The league scheduling is kind of built right into, the course entry here, where you can set up your leagues. When it is a league, there's an additional tab page that shows here, where you can then answer some additional parameters and questions to identify different things as far as whether or not you want to track scores and standings, how many teams are going to be in the league, how many players are going to be per team. A couple of things I'll explain to you about our leagues. If you have a player league where a bunch of players are going to register and then be assigned to a team, our league scheduler component has an auto draft feature where you get 100 kids, you got to put them on 10 teams, our auto drafter will do that for you. Okay? With the maybe adult leagues, there's also a team registration where teams can register. Okay? And then we have a feature for both where you can register a team and then have players register for that team. But we have the ability to, like I said, track scores and standings. We even have a game officials scheduling component where you can schedule all your officials and scorekeepers. And then, of course, track standings and all that as well. Okay? We also have a rainout feature where if you have to cancel the games tonight, you can actually broadcast that to all of the coaches, players, and officials that are tied to those games that you're canceling. Okay? Next up, want to just talk a little bit about the facility side of things. You're going to be able to set up all of your facilities in here that you guys manage. Okay, and with that, I'm just going to show you the calendar piece here. On the calendar, what you're going to be able to do is any resource that you guys manage, you're going to be able to put it in here, and then there's different filters over on the right-hand side here that you can select. And what I did is I said I want to see all my pavilions. There's a mini calendar up here that you guys can then, click on the date that you're looking for or multiple dates, and then see what is available. Okay, and from this calendar, what you're going to see on this calendar again are all of your classes, events, leagues, all your rentals that you guys have set up. All of that will be on this calendar. From this calendar, if somebody's coming in to rent a facility from you, you simply just find the facility that they're looking for, see if it's available. As I mentioned, you can use this calendar to look forward at a date, maybe on the 25th of May, or they're looking for something on the 24th and 25th of May. So as I mentioned, you can click multiple days. And then all you have to do from here is just highlight the block of time, right-click, and you can go right into creating a rental. Okay? So this is just one of the features in the facility rentals. With the facility rentals, it does come with a complete financial management where you can look at all of the open rentals that you have and all of the financials that go behind that as far as what the fees are, how much they've paid to date, how much they still owe. And then down at the bottom here, you can see all of the different functions that you have where you can bill the rental out, you can apply the payment, you can also print a contract out. Okay? So just to kind of give you an example of one of the forms that we have in the system, this would be a sample contract where we would have your logo and address information up in the left-hand corner, and then have everything about that rental, along with the financial information. Okay? Also, with the facilities, we have on the menu here what we call usage statistics. Okay? And this is just one sample that I want to show you today of some of the statistics that you guys can expect with ReCPro. Okay? So what this is going to show you is all of the reservations that you guys had in the system for whatever date range you've put in here. So you can see which facilities are the ones that are getting reserved the most. You can then go to head count and find which facilities have had the most people attend events there. Okay? Also with hours, you can see which facility has been used the most in an hour standpoint. And also a revenue standpoint to see which facilities have brought in the most money. Okay, so these are all different, we've got many different types of reports and grids that show you different statistics. This just happens to be one that applies to the facility reservations. Okay. With from a reporting standpoint with the facilities, we have calendars where you can print out daily, weekly, or monthly calendars and schedules for each facility or each room within the facility. It really is a comprehensive facility schedule. Just one other option I want to mention is the security deposits. If you guys track security deposits, we have a grid here that will track those deposits to alert you when that deposit is ready to be sent back to the customer. So you don't lose track of any of the deposits that you brought in. And like I said, this will alert you when it's ready to be sent back to the customer. Let's talk a little bit about memberships. With the membership system, and I'll just go to the check-in program, but we'll talk a little bit about memberships here. Okay, so with the memberships, there's a few different types of memberships or passes that you guys can set up. One is your more longer-term membership, where it's month, 3-month, 6-month, 12-month membership, which is more of your standard or typical membership. You can also set up a seasonal membership where there's a fixed start date and a fixed end date, or an expiration date. And the third type is a visit pass or a punch card, where you can assign the number of visits that that pass is good for, and then it will subtract those visits as the person visits the facility. There's a bunch of different statuses down here. You guys can actually pick the colors that you want those statuses to appear in. Obviously you're looking for the people that are valid to come in, that have a valid membership. You can suspend memberships, and when you suspend them, you can pick the time frame that it's suspended for, and then of course it will automatically revert back to active once that period is done. If you have any facilities where it's required to have an adult with a minor, it will let you know when a minor checks in, so you can make sure that that minor is accompanied by an adult. Also, if the membership's expired, canceled, and in this case where it's telling you they're at the wrong location. If you have memberships that are dedicated to certain facilities, it will then tell you that this is a valid membership, but they're at the wrong place. Okay. Just a few other things. It will tell you if they owe you any money. Okay. If they have an open balance, and if so, how much of that is overdue. It will alert you if it's their birthday today. There is a customer alert here. If you had any message that you wanted to alert the staff to, that would show up in this box. Okay. We also have recurring memberships for your longer term memberships, where we have it set up to where it will automatically charge their credit card or withdraw from their checking account on a monthly basis for you. It's not something that you guys have to go trigger. We actually do it behind the scenes, where you tell us we want these billed out on the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month, and it will automatically go out and do that for you. Okay, and then of course it will give you a report of any of the declines, so you can go and take care of those manually. Okay. With the point of sale, just another one of the main components in here. There is a full inventory that you guys can keep. If you have any concession stands, snack bars, or any type of retail shop, we do have an inventory component here where you can set those items up and then of course sell those as well. A couple of other ones I've talked about, the locker rooms. If you do have private lockers that you rent out that accompany your memberships, we have that available as well, where you can set up those lockers and then rent them out on a monthly or 6-month basis, however you would like. Okay. I mentioned before with the child care, we do have a child care component. Just want to briefly talk about this. If you have, depending on what you guys have, if you have a before or after school child care program or even a summer camp, we allow you to set it up in a manner where you can tell it's going to be daily, weekly, or monthly. Okay? So if you allow people to pick the day they're going to come, it pops up a screen where they can just pick and choose the days they're going to come. If it's weekly, they of course would just pick the weeks they're going to come. What's nice about this is it's one activity they're registering for, and then they're just picking the dates within it, instead of setting it up in the activity registration component where they would be separate classes. You can set it up all under one umbrella in here and just have them pick the dates. Okay? What you're going to get with that, you're going to get attendance sheets for each day. You're going to get sign-in and sign-out sheets for each day. So it's a little more comprehensive. And you can charge registration fees, for signing up. You can charge late payment fees, or even late pickup fees if you would like. Okay? With some of the reports, just want to go through some of the reports that you can expect out of the system to show what some of those will look like. This being the roster, a couple of things I want to point out about our roster, and this is for your classes or events. We allow you guys to pick and choose the fields that you want to print on the roster, okay? You can actually set up templates and save templates so you don't have to pick these fields every time. You can save a template and apply it to a set of classes. But you can print your roster, you can print your attendance sheets. Okay, there's another feature for mass email, and what that's for is if you wanted to send an email to everybody that's on that specific roster, you can do that, okay? We also have an address labels feature where you can print address labels for everybody on that roster, and also name tags, okay? So all of those are features within this roster, within this roster feature. And just real quick here, I'll bring up a sample that we can take a look at. Okay, so this is just a quick sample. I want to at least preview a report to the screen so you can get a sample of what some of our reports look like. But again, we set up a template that included these fields here. There is a photo field. We do allow you to take pictures of your patrons, have them on file, not only for the membership side of things, but also to print an image on the roster if you choose to do that. Okay. A couple of things, there's a toolbar up here. This little disc up here means that you can export this report. If you want to export it to Excel or Word, you can do that. And there's also a little envelope up here that allows you to email it. All of our reports in the system have that functionality where you can export them or you can email them directly from here. Okay? The mass email feature. Just want to talk about that real quick. When you choose to use that feature, what's going to happen is we're going to go grab all the email addresses from the participants on that roster, and you can see we put them in a blank carbon copy box here. Okay? The subject is going to default to whatever the title of the class was. Of course, you can change that. You can attach any documents or forms that you would like, and then, of course, compose your email right here before you send it out. Okay? So it's pretty comprehensive in grabbing those emails and allowing you to customize the email that you want to send to them. And as I mentioned before, we have the address label feature, okay, and also the name tag label feature, okay, in case you need to print name tags for any type of camp or conference or event that you're having. Okay. Just one of the other statistical reports I want to talk about is this demographic report, and this is for registrations. What this is going to show is how many registrations we've taken for a particular period of time. Okay, again, just another statistic report. We'll show you how many registrations you've taken, a breakdown of gender. Okay, did they register online or in-house? How many were resident or non-resident? what the age brackets were, you know, how many in each age bracket, and what different areas did they come from, okay? Now, the numbers are great, but we also have supporting graphs and percentages on the additional pages here, where we can break those out by graph and percentage to show you each of those breakdowns as well. Okay. One of the things I failed to mention when we talked a little bit when we talked about memberships, I just want to circle back to here, is with our membership component, we do have a card template feature where you guys can design your own photo ID cards if you'd like. Okay, that's going to allow you to print out cards when you sell the membership, or what has become more popular are the custom key tags that people can put on their key rings. Okay, so either way, I just want to mention that we do have the ability to design and print out cards. 5 minutes. Okay. Back on the report side real quick, just a couple of things with the facility. I mentioned before that there's the ability to print out your calendars or schedules, and this really applies to any facility that you want to see. First of all, we do have a facility schedule listing. Okay, this listing, as you can see here, is just a chronological list of what's going on in the rec center on the date range that I chose, okay? Some people prefer this view because it lists everything in a report style or a listing style, whereas other people prefer a calendar view, okay? So we give you the ability to choose which view that you would like to print, whether it's the report style or the calendar style. But if you print out the calendar, it's going to print same information, just in a different style, okay? And again, you get to choose the date range that you want to print, whether it's for a day, a week, a month, and it will print that calendar out for you. Okay. We also have the ability, if you choose to print these, we also have the ability to print reservation signs. Okay. If by chance, with any of your facilities that you want to post a reservation sign, you can do that. Again, we're going to brand it with your logo and contact information, and then we can print what the reservation is for today. And again, this is, it's your preference. If you wish to print these and post these at your facilities, you can do that. Okay. One of the other reports with memberships, just want to again highlight one of our other statistic reports when it comes to your member base. Okay, and this again is just the people that have purchased memberships. Okay, it's going to break down how many different memberships that you have currently, okay, and how many members. And then again, a breakdown of gender, residency, age, and then of course we have the graphs, you know, that support all of that information as well. Okay. A couple of things I want to talk about in regard to email marketing. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this demographic report that we had for classes. In looking at those 300 registrations that we had, if you choose, instead of the report, if you choose this mass email option, and then you can filter it down and say, well, I want to contact everybody that has previously participated in youth baseball. Okay, what this is going to allow your staff to do is it's going to allow you to create a list of people that had kids that participated in youth baseball in the past, depending on the time period you're looking at, and then you can create this mass email. Okay, and of course you can have, there's different filters here too if you're looking for a specific age, specific gender, grade. You can grab all that information as well, and that obviously just shortens the list of people that you're reaching. But we have a lot of different reports in the system that allow you to use that data that you've been accumulating to your benefit, to be able to market different programs or events to your public based on their past participation. Okay? And we have it for class registration, league registration. You can do one for facility rentals. If they've rented pavilions in the past or ball fields, you can reach out to them and say, are you interested in renting something from us this year? Same thing with membership. You can use your membership database and reach out to your members and find out if they're interested in buying anything else from you. So again, the mass email feature, like I showed you before, pops up the email composer where you guys can then write a custom email to this group of people. Okay. And speaking about the financial reports, we do have a typical end of day report that can be run. So at the end of the day, we can run the report that shows a list of all of the receipts that we have with the receipt number, the customer name, the total, and then a breakdown of cash, check, and credit card. Okay. This report can be filtered by site. If you're running multiple centers that are collecting money, you can separate it by site. You can also separate it by staff member as far as who took these payments in. Okay, so if each staff member is balancing in their own drawer, you can do that as well. Okay. The system is equipped with the ability to print out check requests, whether it's for a refund or maybe you're returning a security deposit or whatever the case. Those check requests will then be listed here as well, just so you have a record of those and make sure you actually have the physical document. Okay. On the back page of this report is where we get into the GL account breakdown then. Okay, so we show all the receipts up front, and then on the back, we show all of the GL accounts that correspond with your city or your city's financial system. Okay, and again, we show the total and then a breakdown of cash, check, and credit card. We do provide a cash and check total just so you don't have to add those together for your deposit slip at the end of the day. Okay, but again, it's the end of day financials that you guys will be able to run to accumulate all of the payments that you receive for today. Okay. From a point of sale standpoint, just quickly want to bring up the shopping cart here. Okay. This is the main screen that your staff will use when working a front counter. Okay, we can bring up the customer's account and review that. We can use this edit button if anything has changed on the customer's account. Okay. And we can see all the family members here. Just want to draw your attention to the left-hand side here. We've got options for registering for a class or a league, registering for a child care activity, selling a membership, merchandise sales, facility rentals, or gift cards. Okay. There's some other financial functions here for refunding or putting credit on somebody's account, and then ultimately checking out. But this is a comprehensive screen that allows you to sell anything to your customers that are coming in the door. And as I mentioned before, we have a full payment history here where we can look back on all of the payments that we've received from that customer with the ability to reprint any receipt. Okay. We also have a full activity history here that will show all of the activities by family member, showing what programs they've signed up for. And these are the same types of features that would be online for the customer at home. Okay. And then of course this on account page, this would show if they owe any money, and it would provide a detail of what they owe on. So all of these features are at your staff's fingertips when they're working with a particular customer. I mentioned the online component. This is just a very basic format here. We would customize the web template to look and feel however you want it to look and feel. But this is the then website that your patrons would use, and they would sign into their account and have a full functionality of what I explained internally. Okay. They're given a username and password, which of course their username is their primary email address that's on the account. But as I mentioned, they'll have a full profile online where they can review their profile. With the ability to get not only their payment history, but also their activity history, along with any open balances they have, any wait lists that they're on, things of that nature. Okay. With the the online piece, just want to show you just real quick as well, there is a facility calendar that your public can review as well. It shows all the events, all the rentals, and of course you guys get to pick and choose the information that actually displays on here. Obviously, trying to be sensitive to some of the customer information, you guys get to identify what information actually shows on here. But I just want to point out that there is a public calendar that people can review as well. Okay? And of course, when it comes to, let's say, registering for an activity or a league, they have the ability to search by many things. Obviously, they can search by the category, okay? But they can also search what facility it's at, what instructor is teaching it. That way, if they have a favorite instructor, they can find the classes that instructor is teaching. They can put the age of their child in and find, activities that pertain to that particular child, okay? So that's a really quick overview of a lot of the features that we have. Obviously, there's a lot of other features that we can go in depth about. If you'd like more information, I am going to be a vendor at the trade show today. Please stop by, give me your card. I'll have the cards there for you as well. And that's it. Okay? Thank you very much.
Michael will bring in our next vendor if we can try.